When we find ourselves faced with a challenge, the immediate response often falls into one of two categories. Either we believe we can overcome it, or we convince ourselves that we can't. The second response, the I can't mindset, is one that many of us experience in moments of doubt or fear. It's that voice inside that tells us we're not good enough, that we lack the ability, the skills, or the resources to move forward. It's a response rooted in self-doubt and insecurity, and it can be incredibly powerful, often paralyzing us from taking action or even attempting something new. But what if I told you that this very moment, this I can't moment, is exactly the one where your greatest opportunity for growth lies? At the core of the I can't mentality is resistance. Resistance to failure, to discomfort, and to uncertainty. We resist the idea of stepping out of our comfort zones because it feels safer to remain where we are. When we say, I can't, we are signaling that we believe the current circumstances, our past experiences, or our lack of resources are enough to stop us in our tracks. It's a natural human response. But here's the twist: resistance is not a barrier to success. It's the very thing that can propel us toward it. Think about it. Every time we face a situation where we feel unable to act or succeed, we are being asked to stretch beyond our current capabilities. And it is in this stretching, this moment of discomfort, that we experience the potential for transformation. Growth doesn't happen in the easy, comfortable moments. Growth happens when we confront the very things that make us uncomfortable. The only way to break through the resistance is to push forward despite the fear and doubt. This is where the power lies, the choice to turn I can't into I must. When you say I can't, you are confronting the limits of your current mindset, but you are also presented with an opportunity. This is the moment when you can decide to redefine what's possible. To say I must is to acknowledge that, even in the face of resistance, there is a force greater than the challenge itself. It's the realization that the limits of your current understanding or ability are not permanent unless you decide to accept them as such. In this moment of resistance, you must understand that you are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. The truth is, you've likely already overcome challenges in your life that seemed insurmountable at the time. You've faced adversity before and you've made it through. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is your willingness to step forward despite the fear of failure. We often forget that our greatest strength lies in our ability to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving forward. Human beings are incredibly resourceful, and when we are faced with something that seems impossible, it's usually because we haven't yet discovered the resources within ourselves to make it happen. But these resources exist. The mindset you need to cultivate is the one that recognizes that your current situation, no matter how difficult, does not define you. It's simply a challenge waiting to be overcome. And the moment you decide that you must overcome it, the doors to possibility open up. This is where resilience comes into play. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after failure, to keep moving forward even when things aren't going your way. It's about acknowledging the difficulty, feeling the frustration, and yet refusing to be stopped. Resistance doesn't have to mean defeat, in fact. It's often the very catalyst for the breakthrough you've been waiting for. When you say, I must, you are signaling to yourself that you are not backing down. You are choosing to see the resistance as an opportunity to evolve and grow. But how do you push through this resistance? The first step is to embrace it, to not shy away from the discomfort that comes with it. Many people stop at the first sign of resistance, thinking it means they are on the wrong path or that they are not capable of succeeding. But discomfort is often a sign that you are on the verge of something new, something transformational. Think about a muscle that's being stretched or a piece of clay being molded. It doesn't happen without some resistance. The muscle grows stronger and the clay takes shape because it is being challenged to do so. In the same way, you must allow yourself to be challenged in order to become stronger, more capable, and more adaptable. The second step is to change your internal dialogue. The language you use with yourself is incredibly powerful. If you constantly tell yourself that you can't, that you are not good enough, or that it's too hard, you are reinforcing the very resistance that's holding you back. You must shift your thinking to one that supports your growth. Instead of focusing on why you can't, start focusing on why you must. Ask yourself, what is it that I truly want to achieve, and let that desire fuel your actions. When you focus on what you must accomplish, the I can't mentality starts to fade, and you begin to recognize the countless ways in which you can make it happen. Another important piece of overcoming resistance is embracing failure as a learning opportunity. The fear of failure often keeps us from taking action because we are afraid of making mistakes. But failure is not the end. It's simply feedback. When we fail, we learn something valuable about ourselves and the process we are engaged in. Every failure teaches us something new, what works, what doesn't, and how we can improve. When you face resistance, know that failure is not a reflection of your abilities, but a stepping stone towards success. Failure, when viewed in this way, becomes a tool, not a setback. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them. Every time you fail and rise again, you become more capable, more confident, and more knowledgeable. And with each failure, you are getting closer to the success you seek. In fact, many of the most successful people in the world are those who have failed the most, not because they are inherently better or luckier, but because they were willing to embrace failure as part of the journey and kept pushing forward. When you encounter resistance, you are also being asked to expand your vision. Often the I can't feeling comes from a narrow view of what's possible. We limit ourselves by thinking that we can only achieve what we've already experienced or what seems immediately achievable. But when you shift your perspective and embrace the I must mindset, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You begin to see solutions where you once saw obstacles and opportunities where you once saw dead ends. This is a crucial element of growth, seeing beyond the immediate limitations and envisioning the bigger picture. It's about understanding that the difficulty you face today is not permanent. It's a temporary challenge that will pass, and what awaits you on the other side is far greater than the discomfort you're experiencing now. The more you stretch yourself, the more you expand your capabilities and your vision for what's possible. And the more you stretch, the less resistance will hold you back in the future. Remember that you are not alone in this journey. Everyone faces resistance at some point. It's part of the human experience. But it is how you respond to that resistance that sets you apart. The most successful individuals are not the ones who never face obstacles, but the ones who push through the resistance, who see it as a signal to grow, rather than a sign to stop. When you confront resistance head on, you are embracing the very essence of what it means to be human, the ability to adapt, evolve, and achieve beyond what seems possible. So when you find yourself saying, I can't, recognize it as a call to action. It's a sign that you are on the edge of something great, and it's time to step forward, push past the discomfort, and move into the growth that awaits you. Because in reality, I can't is just the beginning of the journey. The moment you choose to shift that mindset to I must, you activate a force within you that will propel you forward, helping you to overcome the very resistance that once held you back. When we talk about shifting our mindset from I can't to I must, we are acknowledging one of the most powerful forces available to us, the ability to change the way we perceive our circumstances. Our mindset shapes how we experience the world, how we approach challenges, and ultimately how we define our success. The truth is, the moment you decide that you must achieve something, everything changes. It's no longer about doubting yourself or waiting for things to line up perfectly. It's about stepping into a place of unwavering commitment and belief. When you shift from I can't to I must, you tap into an inner force that transcends fear, doubt, and resistance. The power of I must lies in its ability to create a deep sense of purpose. When you say I must, you are making a declaration. It's not just a wish or a goal anymore, it's a necessity. A must is something that you cannot simply ignore or push to the side. It becomes non-negotiable. This shift is crucial because it redefines the way you see your goals. When something is a must, you commit to it no matter the obstacles that come your way. The difference between a goal and a must is the energy and determination behind it. When we approach our goals with the attitude of I must, we are no longer passive participants. We are active creators of our destiny. This mindset allows you to fully embrace the challenges you will face because you understand that they are not roadblocks but opportunities. It's important to recognize that achieving something great will never be without its difficulties. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But that's precisely why I must is such a powerful statement. It tells you that no matter how difficult the journey is, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way, your desire to succeed outweighs everything else. You will find a way, even when there seems to be no clear path. This shift also brings a sense of urgency. When you truly believe that you must achieve something, procrastination loses its power. Procrastination thrives in the realm of uncertainty and doubt. It feeds off our fears and convinces us that we have all the time in the world. But when you tell yourself that you must, you create a sense of urgency that forces you to act now. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or the right time. You understand that waiting is not a luxury you can afford because the stakes are too high. I must demands that you take action immediately. And that is when real progress begins. Another powerful effect of shifting from I can't to I must is that it eliminates the option of quitting. When you say I can't, you are allowing an exit strategy to enter your mind. The very thought of quitting becomes available. And the moment you entertain that thought, it becomes easier to give up. On the other hand, when you decide that you must do something, quitting is no longer a viable option. You've already committed yourself to the task, and there is no room for failure. You start to see setbacks and challenges as a part of the process, not as reasons to quit. This unwavering commitment is essential for growth and success. When quitting is not an option, you find the strength to keep going when things get tough. You develop resilience because you know that the road ahead is not going to be smooth, but that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward step by step. The journey is about progress, not perfection. As long as you keep pushing yourself toward the goal, you are succeeding, even if you encounter difficulties along the way. And in this process, you become stronger, more capable, and more confident. Shifting to the I must mindset also allows you to fully embrace responsibility. When you say I must, you take full ownership of your success and your failure. You stop blaming external circumstances, other people, or the timing of things. Instead, you recognize that you are the creator of your own reality. This is a huge moment of empowerment. No longer can you say, I can't because of this person or that situation. When you decide that you must, you recognize that the power to make things happen is entirely in your hands. You are in control of your future, and that responsibility comes with the ability to shape your own destiny. Taking ownership also means that you stop waiting for things to fall into place. You don't sit back and hope for the best. You become proactive. You make choices. You take calculated risks. You understand that you can't rely on luck or external forces to make things happen for you. You must be the one to take charge and move forward. The I must mindset forces you to stop making excuses, and it inspires you to do whatever is necessary to move toward your goal. Embracing I must creates a sense of discipline and consistency. Motivation, while powerful, can be fleeting. Some days you feel inspired, energized, and ready to take on the world. Other days, motivation might be harder to find. But when you decide that you must accomplish something, motivation is no longer the driving force. Discipline becomes your greatest ally. Discipline means showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. It means taking the necessary steps even when you'd rather do something else. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even when the excitement fades. It's the ability to keep doing the things that need to be done, even when it feels hard or boring. When you commit to I must, you cultivate a level of discipline that makes achieving your goal inevitable. And over time, that discipline builds momentum. It becomes a habit. Success, at its core, is a series of small, consistent actions taken day after day. And that is what the I must mindset creates, the ability to keep going no matter what, until you reach your destination. Another transformative aspect of adopting I must is that it forces you to focus on the present moment. When you commit to something, you're not focused on what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. You are fully engaged in what you need to do right now. In order to move forward, you must focus on the actions that will get you closer to your goal today, rather than getting lost in the distractions of the past or the future. This laser-sharp focus increases your productivity and makes your efforts more effective. Instead of being overwhelmed by everything you have to do in the future, you can break it down into manageable steps and focus on completing each step in the present moment. This leads to greater clarity and reduces feelings of overwhelm. You realize that by focusing on the present, you can make significant progress every single day. In this process, you also develop a mindset of growth. When you say, I must, you are opening yourself to new experiences, new learning opportunities, and new challenges. You stop thinking of the world as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something that you can influence and shape. Every obstacle, every setback becomes a chance to learn and evolve. The I must mentality makes you see every challenge as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. As you continue to push forward with the I must mindset, something incredible happens. You start to transform. You become more than just someone who dreams of success. You become someone who is actively creating it. The journey becomes less about reaching an end point and more about embracing the process of becoming the person you need to be in order to succeed. I must forces you to grow, adapt, and expand your capabilities, and as you do, your results follow. The shift from I can't to I must is not just a change in language, it's a change in how you approach life itself. It's the difference between being a passive observer and an active participant in your own success. The moment you make the decision to act, to pursue your dreams, and to face your challenges with the mindset of I must, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You transform into someone who can and will make things happen, no matter the obstacles in your way. When you truly believe that you must, there is nothing that can stop you. Your journey towards success becomes inevitable. In the end, the transformation from I can't to I must is the key to unlocking your full potential. It's not about waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or the approval of others. It's about stepping into your power and taking charge of your life. When you commit to I must, you turn your dreams into a necessity, and in doing so, you discover that you can. The journey may be challenging, but every step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to becoming the person you're destined to be. This is your moment to rise, to take ownership of your story, and to prove to yourself that no obstacle is greater than your determination. Remember, greatness doesn't come from ease or comfort. It comes from pushing through resistance, learning from failure, and never giving up. So embrace the mindset of I must take action and trust in your ability to create a life that reflects your highest potential. The power to achieve is already within you. All you need to do is claim it.